Clifton is kind of the best of both worlds. It's a little town, 30-minute drive from Waco, but still have the quality of life that is so cool in living in a small town. There are so many great things about this community. There's a lot of things that I love about Clifton, and I probably really love the Cliftex Theatre the very most. You know, when I moved to Clifton, the rumor got around town that the Cliftex was for sale and that somebody possibly was going to buy it and it would no longer be a theater. You know, we heard that. Both Michelle and I, a friend of mine, were so disappointed that the Cliftex was probably going to go away. We kept saying for days and weeks and months, I hope somebody will buy that theater and keep it a movie theater. Like often is the time when you hope and pray that somebody does something. The somebody is oftentimes you. And so we finally, sitting outside the post office one morning, said, maybe that somebody is us and maybe we should buy it. So we did. You know, didn't know anything about the movie business. You know what? You can learn. And we did. This building was built in 1927, and we bought the Cliftex in 2008. So not a lot of renovation or remodeling had been done during that time. So things were in pretty bad disrepair. The roof leaked extremely bad. The side walls were beginning to crumble. It just needed to be updated. It literally was on the verge of having to close. So we literally took everything from the inside. We put a new roof, so that protected what was inside. Bought new chairs that were a little bit more comfortable. Cleaned the building. Put new soundboard on the walls, made the lobby a little bit bigger, restored the old marquee so it had the original colors of the neon and that kind of thing. So really the entire guts of the building were redone. Then we also tried our best as we were removing the old materials. When we found wood panels on the side, we tried to replace that with the same thing so that it had the same feel and same look. It just had the modern conveniences of what folks enjoy today. As part of the restoration of the theater, we had to use a period. For instance, we had to choose a decade or a time period for the Cliftex to be restored to. We found a picture that was taken in 1935, and that was really our favorite period of the Cliftex. So we used that picture as kind of the inspiration to remodel especially the exterior to the 1935 look. This is such a community Clifton place, a Bosque County place, and this building was restored primarily by local contractors, people in Clifton doing business. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Cliftex was done so quickly. They took great pride in working on this building. So it's a pretty cool thing that this place is so Bosque County, but it was also restored by people who live here and who love this place. In a small town like Clifton, population 3,600, this theater has been here for 99 years. It's going to celebrate its 100th birthday next year. Almost everybody that lives in this town has a Cliftex memory. They saw their first movie here. They had their first date here. It was the place they celebrated anniversaries. It was their first job. Almost without exception in this community, everybody has a Cliftex memory. So to have something like this remodeled and restored for possibly another generation, yeah, it was a big deal. The Cliftex shows movies Thursday through Sunday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night at 7, and on Sunday at 4 o'clock. We show a different movie every week. We tell people the good news is that if you don't like the movie this week, it'll change next week. This is obviously a very different kind of theater than most folks are familiar with, even Waco. You go in the door and somebody takes your ticket, and then they point you to one of 16 doors. You don't do that here. It's only one movie. So it's just a very different experience from the mega theaters. And so when they come here, oftentimes folks from Waco come to the Cliftex just because they want a different kind of experience than going to a big mega theater in the big cities. We still do intermission, which is always kind of fun because a lot of folks have no idea what intermission is. And so about halfway through the movie just stops. We always know who are the locals and who are out of town. Locals know exactly what's going on, and it's those folks who are usually from out of town or from the big city who go, what in the world is going on? It's just a different atmosphere at the Cliftex. Most of the time, this theater is filled with people that you know. It's your friends and neighbors. It's the people that you live on the street with. It's the people you go to church with. And so when oftentimes you go to the big city to a theater and you sit down, you have no clue who is on either side of you or in the rows in front of you and behind you. Here it's not that way. You walk in and it's filled with people that you know. It's just a little bit like it was 100 years ago.